Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms. Zetian battle reports. This is exactly what this video is going to be about. But before I want to go into reports and before I'm going to talk about that, I just want to show a couple of things which is general to legendaries. I'm not doing her commander spotlight. I just want to show you guys a couple of reports. But again, I'm talking about legendaries and you all know how expensive they are to upgrade. So just really quick, I'm going to go to a couple of general things that most of you probably know about. I'm not going to leave them for very long, just pause if you want to look at them. This is pretty much how much it takes you to upgrade a legendary, get him to 6-star or maxed out his skills, plus about some other commanders as well. Other important things I can say about Zetian is about the equipment. So equipment only apply from the primary commander. So if you use Zetian as a garrison commander, you definitely want to make sure that she has the equipment, not the other commander. And if you plan to put her as a second, make sure you put the equipment on the other commander. Now another advice general to all commanders is try to keep them on 1-star and max out the primary skill before you go on the other skills. As a general, usually the primary skills on the majority of the commanders is the most important one. It's also cheaper to upgrade as the skills keep increasing, so you keep adding skills to a commander is becoming more expensive. So that way you at least you have one skill maxed, so that commander is also very good at something. Talents also apply only from the primary commander, so make sure you keep that in mind. Right, now that's pretty much out of the way. The expectation of Zetian as a garrison commander, right? Because she is the first commander that is fully driven to be just for garrison. So you kind of have some expectation from her to be very good in garrison, right? Because this is what they built her for. So I'm going to show you guys the battle report, but before I go there, I just want to talk a little bit more about her. If you check all the other garrison commanders that we have in the game right now, they are all have a specialization. So I'm just gonna pick any commander. I can pick Richard, which is also a garrison. I can pick Pelagius. They all have a specialization, right? I can pick Sansu. He has infantry. I can also pick Charles Martel, infantry, archers. Each commander that has a garrison talent tree right now into the game, they all have a specialization for a specific type of troops. But her, if we check at Zetian, she is the first commander built for garrison for a mixed type of troops. She is the first one. I'm not saying that she cannot be used with specific type of troops. I'm just saying that she is the first one that is actually built for mix of troops. If we check this one, increase any type of troops, defense and health. So it's pretty much boosting or all kind of troops and is a general commander for a garrison. So our expectations can be a little bit higher from Zetian. Now let's go ahead and let's check some battle reports. And you're probably wondering, how was that even possible? Using a pass. This is exactly how this was possible. Because on a level 1 pass, you don't have the troops, you only have severely wounded. So shout out to Kingdom 108 and shout out to Alliance CNA and my friend number 1 for giving me these reports about their testings. My first advice for him was using Charles Martel with Zetian and full infantry. But their test and what they wanted to try was against double rallies. This is what they wanted to try, because against a single rally, pretty much there is counter already out there. So the ultimate test about her, if she's actually the ultimate defending commander, was against double rally. So against double rally, she actually didn't do so great. Even against the primary rally, if you go Genghis Khan and Saladin, which they are very, very powerful, she didn't do that great. But there is one thing we need to take in consideration, is that she is not max skills. She is missing one skill to be max skill, and expertise is just something very, very great from Zetian. There's 20% counter attack damage reduction plus additional skill damage. So I wouldn't say that this report is actually very, very conclusive. Again, this is also versus double rallies, and Alexander also debuffs the defense, increasing the damage, while Genghis Khan and Saladin, they are kind of a machine of skills, which this can be very, very devastating. So against double rallies, it's still a no-go. If you look at the second rally, the difference is too high to actually say that the expertise could have done so much more. Right, so this was the first report. The second report, it was still against a double rally. Now again, this is very inconclusive. Charlemagne leading, which is not even max skill. I'm not sure what I had in mind, but this one is with Wu Zetian leading and YSG second, because obviously YSG is the most common used garrison commander, right? This is the most common used garrison commander in the Lost Kingdom or whenever you're defending objectives. So the ultimate test is also using Wu Zetian with YSG. My friend just done that Charles Martel Wu Zetian for me because I asked him, but the ultimate test is Wu Zetian and YSG. And against a second rally, you're noticing that's still not so great, but probably a bit better than Charles Martel. So again, still not so great, but a bit better than Charles Martel. I'm not sure which talent build he used. I'm going to show you guys a talent build that I have built for her as well, after we check the reports. So double rally, still no go. You're still having way more severely wounded. Now this is against double rally again. So again, Wu Zetian and YSG, and here we had one reinforcement, and they swapped the roles. So the Alexander and Richard, they were leading the primary. It was the primary tanking rally. And the second hitting rally was Edward and Tomiris. Now you're noticing the difference, 71,000 to 22,000. Again, Edward hits like a train, right? Very, very powerful and very, very hard to defend against. Again, double rally still was a no-go, but we take in consideration her expertise is not maxed. When is so many troops hitting this small amount of troops, and if you have the right commanders on the troops that are hitting, it's very, very hard to actually defend. So I'm not sure if there will ever be a commander, that they will implement a commander which will actually be able to tank 2 rallies or 3 rallies in the same time, because the math, it just doesn't add up. So pretty much when they are building commanders, I believe that they are, most of them, designed for a single rally or a single defense against a single rally. Because if I check over here, you're noticing Edward and Tomiris. If I check on the troops buff, now this is going to be surprising. Look at that, they are not even max skills. So Edward is not max skills and Tomiris is barely having some skills, and they've done large amounts of damage to Wu Zetian and YSG just as a sidekick rally. So that's a pretty no-go situation for using her as against a double rally. Maybe Charles Martel, if you actually want to tank double rallies with Wu Zetian, that can probably work. But YSG and Wu Zetian, nope. Now here is the cherry on top of the cake, where when they tested against a single rally, because this is probably the best test they have done. So these 3 are very inconclusive tests, my opinion, just my personal opinion. But this is the best test they have done. So this is Wu Zetian with Saladin, only cavalry in defense, so there's only cavalry in defense, against Edward of Woodstock and YSG, only archers, I believe so, yep, only archers and max skills. So this is the best test they have done, and you're noticing the difference. There was no reinforcements over here, no reinforcements over there. So this is the best test that I personally think, it actually proved that Wu Zetian Saladin with that large amount of skill damage reduction, they were able to stop Edward and YSG, which are the heaviest hitters in the game right now. So if you want to stop a rally from very heavy skill damage commanders, you can definitely use Wu Zetian and Saladin. This definitely works against Genghis and Saladin, Genghis and Double C, Mina Double C. Anything that does heavy skill damage, Wu Zetian and Saladin is going to be the answer. If Edward and YSG, with all that skill damage bonus, haven't managed to break through Wu Zetian and Saladin, they will definitely tank anything that does a lot of skill damage. Not to mention that once you obtain her expertise, her counterattack damage reduction is going to be increased by another 20%, and you'll have another 20% from Saladin. So even against infantry, I strongly believe that she will be the answer with a full cavalry defense. She will definitely be the answer. But Wu Zetian needs to be primary because of the Garrison talents. And I'm going to show you my talent build and I'm going to explain why. So this is the ultimate defense against skill damage, Wu Zetian and Saladin. And again, she was not maxed, which would have increased the result of that report. Now here is the talent build that I have done for her. And this is the reason I'm saying the Garrison is because you do more damage to the attackers, you take less damage from the attackers, and it's the skill damage from the Garrison, which is 15%. And then you have another 9% from support. That's 24%. You have 30% from Saladin, and you have 15% from Wu Zetian. That brings you to 69% skill damage reduction. Isn't it that a little bit phenomenal? Yes, it is. That's pretty crazy. You have to take in consideration, if you use this build, there's a couple of things that also might have a downfall for you. You don't have any kind of AoE. That means that the defense can be swarmed, or players can sit under the flag or the garrison where you're defending. So this is one downfall. The second downfall might be, I'm not sure how well they will do against a double rally, because they haven't tried that against a double rally, just as against a single rally. So against a single rally or any heavy skill damage rally, it definitely works. But against a double rally or triple, I'm not sure how that will do. And like I said, you don't have any kind of AoE, which means the garrison can be swarmed. But at that amount of defense that you have, and that amount of bonuses and skill damage reduction, I actually believe that you shouldn't have any worries about a swarm if you give the proper reinforcements to the garrison. This is a mix of troops build that I have done because, like I mentioned, she is the first commander that is 100% designed for mix of troops. That garrison was done with purely cavalry, which Saladin also boosted the cavalry, so it was just cavalry. But this is for mix of troops, so if you want to try with mix of troops, or at least having 3 types of troops in the defense to actually gain more bonuses. If you want to go for just one type of troop, I would definitely go for loose formation. So you definitely need to skip armored and armored, and you need to go for loose formation. And there you have it. Wu Zetian can actually be a very good garrison commander. If they stopped Edward and YSG, I'm not sure that there is a single rally that can actually harm them. Here you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if there's any question, you can always drop in the comment section below. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care.